Hey, Avindra.
Hey, Todd.
Hey, it's good to have you here.
Oh, absolutely. It's a
Thanks
pleasure
for
being
stopping
here.
by, taking a few minutes to talk to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, as just a way to get started, it's sort of an icebreaker. What is something that excites you? Doesn't have to be technology or software specific, just in life.
That's a great question. Something that excites me a lot is constant learning, right? Whether it's technology, whether it's outside of technology, always be learning is my motto. I try to follow that in my life. One of the recent examples is, my daughter, she really wanted to try ice skating. But before that, we went to a birthday party, and then it was a skating party. So she didn't know how to roller skate at the time. I didn't know how to roller skate, so I couldn't take her in the rink.
Right.
But then she's like, okay, I want to take classes, I want to learn this. And seeing her do that, I got really motivated. I want to learn. So I wanted to learn it because I wanted to be there with her in the rink.
Sure.
So then we took it a step further. We started taking ice skating lessons.
Wow.
Which was awesome.
That is cool.
Constantly learning, constantly innovating is my motto.
That's very cool. Well, I think she's, not to give too much information, but she's 7.
Yes.
And I have a son that's 7.
Awesome.
And I just met her,
Yeah.
so I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. She loves it, and I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
She's gone way past what I can do, but I'm still motivated.
That's the way it normally works, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Kids surpass their parents quickly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm a software consultant based in Kansas City. I help clients architect their web applications. I do this through a variety of software consulting services by offering them doing code audits and kind of seeing how the systems are already and providing them guidance on how to improve it. I also do one-on-one mentoring sessions with their teams. I conduct workshops with companies. And I also do conference speaking, where I, take this a step further and share the knowledge with a lot more people, so they can take that valuable knowledge back to their companies.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's get software architecture specific. What excites you about it?
So when I first started my career as a software engineer, I was asked to do a couple of bug fixes, and that's mostly, what everyone's path is as a software engineer. I really wanted to know how things were connected. I wanted to know that the bug I'm fixing or the feature that I'm working on, where did it connect, right? So I was always curious. I was always curious about learning outside of what my team was doing to connect the dots. So I was the engineer who really liked to see the 30,000-foot view on how things work. That's what was my passion for software architecture. And once I started seeing that, I was able to connect the dots and figure out, okay, why does this team work so well with the other team, and why it's so critical for the two teams to work together.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about innovation, right? I mean, innovation plays a huge role in software. How does what you do contribute to it? What are your thoughts on it, just in general? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but innovation is sort of a constant theme here, right? Everybody, and I think open source is a great engine to innovate.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're getting so much input from so many outside sources and so many outside people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of feeds that process, really.
Yeah, for sure. Innovation is, I think, critical for our industry.
Yeah.
It's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing. So it is critical for engineers to be able to keep up with what's going on, right? And that's what I've followed too. Going back to the days I started, with web dev, remember writing just plain HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
Yeah.
And we've come a long way since that, right? We've added more tools and utils and libraries, and now we are in like the React, Angular, Vue, Svelte world with frameworks. Now we've come a step further with the React server components, and everyone's starting to add those frameworks back to the server.
Right.
So that things are constantly changing. So I think it's very important for folks in our industry to keep up with the innovation.
And that's where the constant education comes in too, that you
right.
spoke about earlier.
Yes.
Right? People have to do that to be able to innovate, really.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It becomes critical.
Yeah.
Do you have any best practices, or just, best practices for people in our community?
Hey, this is Todd with All Things Open. Thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button. We've got a lot of new content coming we think you're going to be interested in. One final favor, be sure to go to allthingsopen.org, allthingsopen.org to see everything that we do. Back to the video.
Yeah, so I encourage attending events like this from a community perspective. And the reason why I say that is once you are only working with a certain team, your perspectives are only going to be restricted to what you hear and see from them, right? Instead, if you start going to more and more events, you'll start seeing a broad perspective or different perspectives that you may want to go learn more and expand your knowledge.
Yeah.
So I think events like this are great. In addition to the technologies, and there are many technologies that I hadn't heard before.
Right.
I started going to conferences or meetups where other people start talking about them, and I got so curious about it, and I started learning more and more about them. So my best practices would be to, in order for you to keep up, ensure that you are putting yourself in a position that you're meeting different perspectives or you're interacting with other people.
Right.
And conferences are one of the best tools to do that.
Again, I'm biased, but I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's see. Let's make that specific. Let's take that down a level. What advice do you have to conference attendees? You know, you're here, you're at a conference, you've done what you just suggested people do. Hey, I am going to go to a conference. Any best practices or suggestions for people that are conference goers?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would recommend all the knowledge that you gain from these conferences, take it back to your teams, right? One of the things that we hear commonly within the industry is, with meetups and conferences, are people saying, hey, I don't really have time to go to those, or I have conflicts. So this happened to me when I was working at a company too, but I thought, hey, why don't I bring the meetup to you instead of you having to do it, right? So I took the steps in order for me to talk to the directors and the vice president at the time, got approval to host an internal meetup. So I would go to different conferences in the industry, gather a lot of knowledge, bring that knowledge back to our teams, and do internal talks and things like that, right? And I encourage the other engineers to do so. So my advice to conference goers is once you gain all the knowledge from here, take it back to your team, host a couple of internal meetups, and share that knowledge with your peers. And that'll take all of you a long way.
I think that's great advice. Where can people find you if they want to learn more about you or maybe even contact you?
Yes, I'm on X, so you can find me Avindra Fernando. That's primarily where I'm most active, and I'm also on LinkedIn. Same, Avindra Fernando. You can find me on LinkedIn as well.
All right. Well, I follow you on all the socials.
Yeah.
So I would encourage everybody watching to do the same.
Yep. And if you're interested in my consulting services, you can go to taprobaneconsulting.tech.
Good.
And that'll be where you'll find.
I was going to ask you to do that. By all means, promote yourself. I mean,
absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for taking the time.
Well, thanks, Todd. This has been great.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.